I've been using credit card points to subsidize my cost of travel and fit travel into my budget for the last 5 years. And if I was just getting started, here's the exact credit card strategy that I would use to earn points in a way that's actually useful to redeem for flights and hotels. These are my favorite credit cards for beginners and my favorite ways to use them. So let's get right into it. Before I start talking about my favorite credit cards for beginners and how to best use them, it's always important to give a little disclaimer that credit card points are not an excuse to get yourself into credit card debt. If you can't or you don't trust yourself to be responsible with a credit card without overspending, I would not recommend this. Yes, credit card points are a great way to subsidize the cost of travel, fit travel into your budget. However, the amount of points that you're going to earn is never going to outweigh all of the money that you'll be spending on credit card interest by spending more than you should be and getting yourself into credit card debt. But if you can learn to really get a handle around your expenses, track your expenses so that you know exactly how much money you're spending every month, and use your credit card for your everyday spend for purchases that you would already be making otherwise, you really can take advantage of credit card points and use them to subsidize your cost of travel. And now for my favorite credit card point strategy for beginners, I'm gonna list 2 cards here that I think pair really well together. So kind of a 2-card strategy for credit cards to have in your wallet, credit cards to put all of your normal spending on, to redeem for flights and hotels. But if you're just getting started and maybe you don't even have one credit card yet, you don't want more than one card, that's totally fine. You don't need both. You definitely don't need both at the same time. So pick one, start with one, get a handle around using one credit card for credit card points, and then you can always add in another one later in 6 months, 9 months, a year, whatever it may be. My 2 favorite credit cards for beginners are the Bilt Rewards card and the Capital One Venture card. Here's how both of these cards work and why I think they work really well together for a credit card point strategy for beginners. So the first card, the Bilt Rewards credit card. Bilt is a no annual fee credit card that allows you to pay your rent on your credit card without that transaction fee. So typically if you try to pay your rent with a credit card, you're gonna get hit with like a 3% convenience fee from your apartment complex. But with the Bilt Rewards card, they actually assign you an account number and a routing number for your credit card so that you can pay your rent with that credit card without that fee. The benefit of putting your rent on your credit card is that you're going to earn 1x points per dollar spent on your rent. So if you spend $2,000 a month on rent, that's 2,000 points you can earn every single month, literally just by paying your rent. The other big perk of the Bilt Rewards card is that you earn 3x points on dining. So I know for me, I do spend a good amount of money on dining every single month, going out for dinner and drinks with my friends. And with the Bilt Rewards card, you can earn 3 points per dollar spent on dining. So if you're not a renter, this card might not be for you because the rent is the big perk here, but it still is a great no annual fee card and you do still earn 3x points on dining. The other reason why I love the Bilt Rewards card is because they have such an awesome list of transfer partners. Basically, all of the credit card points companies have different partners that you can transfer your points to. So for example, United is a transfer partner of Bilt. 1,000 Bilt points can turn into 1,000 United points. Okay, so all of that is to say not only can you earn a lot of points on this card, but the points are very, very useful because of the transfer partners. And then the second card that I really love for beginners is actually my very first credit card that I opened for credit card points. I opened this card when I was 19 years old in college because I wanted to find a way to be able to go on spring break with my friends and all of that. But this card is the Capital One Venture card. And the reason why I love this card and why I picked this card as the first one that I ever opened, because this card earns 2x points per dollar spent on all spend categories. So literally whatever you're buying, whether that be groceries, gas, shopping, you're going to earn 2 points per dollar spent on all of those transactions. A lot of other credit cards like the Bilt Rewards card, depending on the category, you're going to earn a different amount of points per dollar spent. But I love that the Capital One Venture card keeps it really simple and just does 2x points on all spend. So how these 2 cards pair together, you can put your rent and your dining on your Bilt card, and then all of your other spends, your groceries, your gas, shopping, all of that would all go onto your Capital One Venture card. I think these 2 cards are a really great way to rack up a ton of points as a beginner. If I was going to choose one of the 2 cards to start with, because most people are not going to go open 2 credit cards right now, I would probably start with the Capital One Venture card. Like I said, that was the very first card that I ever opened up. One, because I think it's good to get used to putting your spending onto credit cards without necessarily putting your rent on your credit card. I do think it's great that you can put your rent on your credit card with Bilt without the fee and to earn points for it. If you've never spent on a credit card before, I do think putting such a large expense on it is kind of dangerous. If you overspend and you can't pay that balance, you could just rack up a lot of credit card debt very quickly putting your rent on your credit card. So I would probably start maybe with the Capital One Venture card and just earn 2x on all of my spend and go about that while I'm getting used to using credit cards without getting into credit card debt. But the other reason why I think the Capital One Venture Card is a great one to start with, especially right now, is they actually have an increased welcome bonus right now. This is obviously at the time of filming this, so this welcome bonus could change depending on when you're watching this video. But when you open the Capital One Venture Card, the annual fee is $95, and then the welcome bonus for the card, which welcome bonuses are such a great way to get a ton of points right up front. Welcome bonus right now is 75,000 welcome points after hitting the minimum spend. So you need to spend $4,000 in the first 3 months of having the card open to get those 75,000 points. But then there's an increased bonus right now of a $250 travel bonus in your Capital One Rewards account. So those 75,000 miles for the welcome bonus is worth a minimum of $750 in travel rewards, depending on how you use them. And then that $250 bonus on top would get you to $1,000 in travel value very quickly after opening the card. The Bilt Rewards card, even though there's no annual fee, there's also no welcome bonus. When you're comparing whether or not you think an annual fee is worth it, I personally went for a card with a small annual fee because I knew I could take advantage of that large welcome bonus and get at least $1,000 worth of value from it. It's also important to note with a card with an annual fee, if you decide a year from now that that annual fee is no longer worth it, you can always downgrade your card to a card with a no annual fee. So if you did get the Capital One Venture Card, you used it for a year, you got a bunch of points, you like the card, but you're not really sure if that $95 is worth it to pay it again, you can call Capital One super quickly and say, hey, I'd like to downgrade my Capital One Venture Card to the Capital One Venture One card, which is a no annual fee card. That's still a great option, but it has no annual fee and you're gonna earn less points per dollar spent on the card. So all of that is to say that you do have options. You're not locked into paying an annual fee every single year for the rest of your life. Like I said, I've been using credit card points for the last 5 or 6 years to really subsidize the cost of travel and fit travel into my budget. If you are interested in either of the cards discussed in this video, I will put referrals in the description so you can check those out, and let me know in the comments what else you want to know about traveling on credit card points.